And the cool thing is that you're able to make a substantial amount of money in a very condensed period of time because you're doing it in this retreat, format. I think so many healthcare providers should be doing some version of this for your audience, for your tribe. So let me tell you why I first did. Okay.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me. People have asked me about retreats and how I set up my retreats. So I want to share with you all what it is that I have done, why I transitioned into doing more retreats instead of just big live events, even though I'm feeling the itch. My crew is feeling the itch doing a live event, but why we've done retreats, how you can do retreats as well. And I want to tell you about an upcoming retreat, my final retreat for 2025. So this past week, I've actually hosted 2 retreat events at my Skyview retreat spot in Clearwater. And those events they've been phenomenal. We had, I think, 11 people the first event, 9 people the second wave. And, the people are just ecstatic with how we have set it up. And I want to kind of tell you guys, this is why I transition into doing this. And then I want to share with you guys, because I believe every single one of you could do a version of this. And the cool thing is that you're able to make a substantial amount of money in a very condensed period of time because you're doing it in this retreat, format. I think so many healthcare providers should be doing some version of this for your audience, for your tribe. So let me tell you why I first did. Okay. When I have done SSAC Live, okay, or I've had in the past, coaching programs, I've had masterminds. The way that I did it is I rented out hotels. Okay. I rent out hotels. And just to kind of give you an idea, to rent out a hotel, they don't typically charge for the space. But what they do charge for is food and beverage. And if they don't charge you for food and beverage, they're going to charge for the space. Okay. And then there's another layer to it, and that's the hotel room. So let's talk about each of them. So we usually do our event at the Wyndham Grand, right? It's in Clearwater Beach. And many of you listening have probably come to one of our events. And the events are awesome and they're amazing. And my team does an amazing job at setting it up. And I love to bring the energy and host the events and get all the right speakers and all that stuff. But here's kind of the financial stuff behind it. When you're doing an event, you're not paying for all of the rooms that you are using for the actual meeting space for the actual event, but you're paying a food and beverage fee. Okay. So the food and beverage for an event could be anywhere between $50,000 to $80,000. And that's not including the sometimes 30% service charge that they are charging for the actual event. So just going into the event with food and beverage, you're probably looking at close to $100,000. Okay. All right. Now there's another layer of it. You have to have, at least for me, you don't have to, but I want to have really good AB because an event is all about energy, right? It's about energy. It's about keeping people engaged so that people get a transformation, right? And the transformation is not just what you're going to talk about at the event to help people with awareness and learning how to do things, but it's also creating an amazing experience. So our AV for events is usually somewhere between $30,000 to upwards of probably $45,000 to $50,000, right? So now you're looking at an event that's running into the mid 6 figures, right? Now, our last event that we did in 2024, we not only had to deal with that, you also have to deal with the hotel rooms. And the hotel rooms, back when I started events in 2017, you're looking at like $179, $199 a night for somewhere like the Wyndham Grand. Today, those hotel rooms are $299, $349, sometimes upwards of $400 per room. And if you are going to rent out a lot of space, usually part of the contract is that you have to take a block of rooms that come into space. Here's the problem. The problem is that if you don't fulfill out all of those rooms, you still have to pay for it. So in 2024, we had probably about 40 rooms or room nights that we had to pay for, it ended up costing us over $50,000. Now, we ended up getting family members and friends and whatnot to be able to take the spaces, but it was wasted money. So when you're looking at these events in 2024, the event probably cost us close to $300,000, right? And just think about it, if you're doing that event year over year over year over year, you're walking away, even though, yes, we sell programs and people buy stuff and we always profit from the events, but you're walking away with nothing, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, you might profit from the events, but you still have to fulfill on all of the services that you are selling to people. So what we have decided to do, and we started this in 2022, is we started to buy homes and use those homes partially for our events, but primarily for rental properties and to do Airbnb, Verbo, etc. And so that's part of the reason. That's a financial reason why we moved to these events. But the other part of it is that now you're able to work with people in a very intimate, personalized environment. And our clients love it. And every single one of you could do this. Now, by the way, this place here, Skyview Retreat, this is where I have my podcast studio now. And it's a great setup. But this place took about a year longer than what we expected. So we actually had to rent Airbnbs locally when we were hosting events. And one time we hosted an event in Reddington Shores for a week, and we rented out a place, and we were able to do a really awesome event. We realized, okay, we're not going back to hotels for the foreseeable future because of how awesome it is when you do these retreats. And this is the thing that I think many of you could do. I am telling you something that I told one of my clients that I believe I finally persuaded to be able to do these events. I want you guys to understand this. When should you do an event? If you have more than 100 clients, it's time for you to do an event. Now, if you only have like 10 clients, you're probably not going to have enough clients for you to be able to have enough people that you could present the event to and that they'll actually do it. But when you hit that 100-person mark, 100-client mark, I believe that 3 to 10% of your clients will actually take you up on you having an offer that is anywhere between 5 to 20 times more than the core offer that you sold to them. Okay. So if you have an offer and your biggest offer that you sold to a client is $5,000 or $500, let's say it's $500, you could probably do an event anywhere between $2,500 to $20,000. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but the reality is that there's a small subset of your audience that if you presented them with an offer that they really, really, really liked, they would be willing to pay up to 5 times more than they have for the core offer that they have bought from you, right? Now, if your offers are, $100, 5 times more is $500. 20 times more would be, $2,000. Okay. But for many of you, I do believe that once you get to 100 members or 100 people that have bought from you, it is time for you to do an event. Now, here is how you set up events, because this is actually a question that was asked by a few of our clients. Okay. So number one, when you create an event, you have to talk about the transformation first. So you must talk about the payoff that someone's going to get for coming to your event. It can't just be like, oh, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much fun. Nobody's spending $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 just to have fun in something that hasn't been proven yet. Okay. Maybe for a Taylor Swift concert, maybe, but they're not doing that for you. Okay. So there has to be a result that you're getting for people with the event, like the event that I just hosted. Okay. The result was that you have a book, and now we're going to do everything needed for you to be able to launch your book in a one-to-many fashion. So the result of the event is that we're going to come up with a game plan of how you're going to launch your book in a massive way. Number 2 is we created the actual webinar, the slides, the layout. I gave them the structure, the tone in which they have to deliver the webinar, right? Number 3, I helped them with building out all of the emails, all of the messages that they have to do to get people to sign up, all the things that you need to do to remind them to show up to the event, all the things that you need to do after to get them to buy whatever product, whatever service you're offering. For them, it's a book, and then whatever their core offer is, right? And then what we did on the final day is we built up all the advertising assets, all the advertising material that they're going to need for the event, right? So that's the videos that they're going to need. That's the content that they're going to need. So that is basically a retreat. Those are the results that you're going to get. Okay. So the result is the most important thing. And then the process of how we did it, well, I just explained to you the process, right? First day is the strategy behind it. The second day is the conversion. And the third day is the traffic, right? So then you lay out the process of how we're going to actually do it. Okay, but then now you're going to do the event. Okay. And with the event, you have two options of how you actually lay it out. Okay. You can lay it out. You still want to charge 5 to 20 times more. So you're like, well, which one is it, right? Well, 5 times more if you're just starting, and you are going to make them responsible for all of their travel, all of the food, all of the materials that are going to be needed in order for you to execute out the event for them. Okay. But if you want to make it all inclusive, and that's how we do our events, we make our events fully all inclusive. We take care of your flights, we take care of your accommodations, we take care of your food. Now you could charge 10 to 20 times more than the actual offer, right? And so for some clients, they're coming from Seattle, Washington. Some clients, they live in Florida, right? So it just depends, but we know that on average, it's going to cost a certain amount for the flights. We kind of just created an average of what it's going to be. And we know that it's going to cost a certain amount for the food, right? And so basically we have built that into the price. But people really love that because now they don't have to think about anything. And now it becomes a true experience for them. So anyways, that's really how you look at setting up a retreat event. And I really think that people are looking for that. Today, as we do more stuff with AI, and we're doing more stuff with technology, and we're doing more things with automation, and our phone is in our face all the time. People are looking for outlets. People are looking for things that are not involving their phone. They want to be able to disconnect and detach. If you are in a world where you're trying to get people to implement something or execute something, putting them in a room with not a ton of people, right? Just a few people, and getting them to be able to actually do something with very few to no distractions is so powerful for them. And they're eternally grateful. And then the cool thing is that when you are doing it in an all-inclusive way, like how we do it, well, you are putting a lot of people together in a home. And so when you're putting all these people together in a home, it's creating a community, and it's creating this amazing community for them to be able to break bread, network, be together. And we're just seeing our clients do some amazing things because of the actual event structure and the setup that we have. So that's what I would recommend for you all. I think it is such a powerful way to be able to spike up revenue, spike up profits in your business. It doesn't take a ton of time, it just takes a little creativity and a little bit of effort, and just presenting the offer to people. So with that said, we have done, I think probably maybe 15 events for this entire year. I know it's definitely been over 10. I think we've done close to 15 retreat events for the year. We are doing one more event. Now, I know this is short notice, but if you're listening to this podcast and it's before December 6th, 7th, okay, we are going to be doing an event, and it is basically to help people with planning out their 2026. We're going to be doing it here. It's going to be a small, intimate group of people, and I think it's going to be really, really powerful. So if you want to come to the event because you want to plan out your 2026, I would highly advise you to just maybe text us event retreat to 813-534-6453. And maybe you just want to come because you want to see, hey, how do they set up events? That's a lot of our clients, tell us. We want to see exactly how you set up so they can replicate the success that we've had. So text us event retreat to 813-534-6453. And I hope to see you at our next event. So even if I don't see you at our next event, please use that structure, use that system, use our framework to be able to put together an awesome retreat for your clients in 2026. Till next time.